Intra. There is a specific smell that belongs to old books. It is the scent of vanilla, almond, and decay. It is the smell of time itself. When you open a book that is 500 years old, you are not just opening paper and ink. You are shaking hands with the dead. Books are the only true time machines we have. They are the vessels where the human soul is stored after the body turns to dust. But history is not just a story of writing books. It is a story of burning them. For every great library standing today, there are 10 that were reduced to ash. For every ancient manuscript we can read, there are 1,000 that were lost to the fire, the flood, or the sword. Tonight, we open the forbidden pages of history to look at the books we lost, the books we fear, and the libraries that bled. Chapter 1. The Fire of Alexandria. We begin our journey in the ancient world, in the city of marble and sea from Alexandria, Egypt. The year is roughly 48 BC. Alexandria was not just a city. It was the brain of the world. At its heart stood the great library. Above its doors was an inscription, the healing place of the soul. Inside, there were no printed books. There were scrolls. 700,000 scrolls made of papyrus. They contained the entirety of human knowledge. There were the star charts of the Babylonians, the geometry of Euclid, the lost plays of Sophocles, and perhaps even the true history of Atlantis. It was said that if a ship docked in Alexandria, the soldiers would board it not to search for gold, but to search for books. If they found a scroll, they would take it to the library, copy it, keep the original, and give the copy back to the captain. They were hungry for knowledge. But knowledge is fragile. Julius Caesar, in his war for control of Egypt, set fire to his own ships in the harbor to block the enemy fleet. The fire was wild. It jumped from the ships to the docks. It jumped from the docks to the warehouses, and then the wind carried the flames to the library. Imagine the scene. The sky turning orange. The smell of burning papyrus, which smells like burning dried grass. The scholars running into the flames, trying to grab armfuls of scrolls, weeping as the roof collapsed. In one night, centuries of wisdom vanished. We lost the knowledge of ancient medicine that could cure diseases we still struggle with. We lost the designs of machines that wouldn't be reinvented for 1,000 years. The burning of Alexandria set humanity back by centuries. It is the collective amnesia of the human race. Chapter 2. The River of Ink. Fast forward to the year 1258. We are in Baghdad, the jewel of the Islamic Golden Age. This is the home of the House of Wisdom. While Europe was sleeping in the Dark Ages, Baghdad was awake. Scholars here were translating Aristotle, inventing algebra, and mapping the stars. The House of Wisdom was the greatest library since Alexandria. But from the east came a storm. The Mongols, led by Hulagu Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan. They arrived at the gates of Baghdad with an army that covered the horizon. They did not want to read. They wanted to conquer. They breached the walls. The slaughter was unimaginable, but the tragedy of the books was unique. The Mongols took the priceless manuscripts from the House of Wisdom books on philosophy, science, mathematics, and poetry. They threw them into the Tigris River. History tells us that there were so many books thrown into the water that the invading army rode their horses over them like a bridge. They used the wisdom of the world as a stepping stone for their muddy hooves. The ink from the pages began to dissolve. Witnesses said that the Tigris River ran black with ink for days. It was a river of words flowing out to the sea. The blood of the scholars mixed with the ink of the books, creating a red and black funeral for the Golden Age. Chapter 3. The Devil's Bible. Not all books are destroyed because of war. Some survive because people are too afraid to destroy them. We move now to 13th century Bohemia, modern-day Czech Republic. In a cold, stone monastery, a monk known as Herman the Recluse broke his sacred vows. His punishment was terrifying. He was to be walled up alive. Bricks would be placed one by one until he was sealed in darkness to die of starvation and thirst. Desperate to avoid this fate, the monk made a deal. He promised the abbot that he would write a book in a single night, a book that would contain all the knowledge of the world, glorifying the monastery forever. The abbot agreed. The monk began to write. He wrote on vellum, made from the skins of donkeys. He wrote frantically, but as midnight approached, he realized the task was impossible. His hand was cramping. The ink was running out. He knew he would not finish by dawn. So, legend says, he did not pray to God. He prayed to the fallen angel. He prayed to Lucifer. "Help me finish this book," he whispered, "and I will give you my soul." The devil answered. The next morning, the abbot entered the cell. The book was finished. It was massive. It is known today as the Codex Gigusta Giant Book. It is 3 feet tall and weighs 165 pounds. It takes 2 men to lift it. Inside, the handwriting is perfect, consistent, and unhurried, as if written by a single hand in a single sitting. But scientific analysis shows it would take a human 20 years of non-stop writing to complete it. And there, on page 290, is the proof of the pact. A massive, full-page illustration of the devil. He is green, with red claws and 2 tongues, looking out from the page with a mocking grin. It is the only Bible in history that includes a portrait of Satan. The book was considered cursed. The monastery that owned it was destroyed. It brought plague and madness to whoever possessed it. Today, it sits in the National Library of Sweden. You can go see it. But they say, if you stand too close, you can feel a cold draft coming from the pages, even on the hottest day of summer. Chapter 4. The Mystery of the Void. Finally, we come to the most frustrating book in the world. The Voynich manuscript. Discovered in 1912, this book dates back to the early 15th century. It is 240 pages of pure mystery. It is written in a language that does not exist. The letters are loopy and strange. No linguist, no codebreaker, not even the artificial intelligence of 2026 can read it. It is full of illustrations of plants that do not grow on Earth. It has drawings of naked women bathing in green tubes that look like biological machinery. It has star charts of galaxies we haven't discovered yet. Some say it is a medical book from another dimension. Some say it is a hoax created by a genius madman. Some say it is the diary of an alien stranded on Earth. The book sits at Yale University, locked away in the Binaki Rare Book Library. It stares back at us, mocking our intelligence. It is a locked door for which we have lost the key. Conclusion, as you listen to this, consider the device you are holding. We live in the digital age. We think our knowledge is safe in the cloud. But the cloud is just a server farm in a warehouse. A solar flare, a cyber war, or a magnetic pulse could wipe it all out in a second. We are not so different from the librarians of Alexandria. We are building a tower of knowledge, but we are building it on sand. The old books, the ones made of skin and ink, they are the survivors. They have survived fire, water, and time. So, the next time you hold a physical book, respect it. Don't just read the words. Feel the weight, because you are holding the only thing that proves we were here. You are holding the ashes of wisdom, reformed into paper, waiting for a voice to read them alive again. History is written by the victors, but it is preserved by the librarians. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!